Hi, welcome to the Outdoor 2022 Provincial Qualifier Cup Competition brought to you by CMSA. We're really excited to launch this cup competition that's going to see 159 teams across 38 divisions compete for their chance to represent Calgary at the Alberta Soccer Provincials later this summer. We want to do a quick run through about how the cup draw process is going to work and how these teams were actually seeded to determine where they're going to be pulled from. So teams were all seeded based on their indoor 2020-2022 regular season finish. So if you were first place in the league, you would go in as your number one seed into this draw. And we work through the entire teams in that manner. Now, there was obviously some teams. There were some teams who moved here. A full explanation of how this was done will be available on CalgaryMinersSoccer.com on Friday, May 13th, when all of the schedules and brackets are produced. You can see your team's path to the CMSA Provincial Qualifier Cup Competition Final and representing Calgary at our provincials. The process that the draw is going to go through is we're going to start with the U13 boys tier 1 and work our way all the way through to the U17. All the teams have been seeded and divided into Pot A, Pot B. The top seeded teams have been put into Pot A. The bottom seeded teams have been put into Pot B. Should there be an odd number of teams or some teams that some brackets will get a little differently, the first place seeded team will receive a first round bye, or potentially the top two seeded teams, depending on how many groups were entered into that cup competition. We'll explain more about that as we work through this draw. All of Pod A seeded teams will be drawn, and they'll be the home team for the matches. That'll follow by Pod B seeded teams that will be the visitor or away team for those matches. There will be some play-in style games to meet those first round bye teams in some of these divisions. Again, that's dependent on how many teams were actually entered into the cup competition. So, with no further delay, we want to get right into it and get into our boys U13 Tier 1 draw. So this is a group that had 7 teams to the cup competition. So we've got a first round bye for Calgary Foothill Soccer Club, FC 2009 Green. And as you can see on your screen, they are there with the first round bye. We're now going to draw out of Pot A for match for the home team. And what's been drawn is Calgary Blizzard SC 09 boys will be the home team in match 1. In match 2, our home team out of Pot A is going to be Foothills SC 2009 White. And first and second place will remain on 2 different sides of the bracket. Lastly, in match 3, we're going to see team seeded 4, which has already been drawn. Apologies. Team 3, the Calgary West Celtic 09 boys will be home team in match 3. Moving into Pot B, we're going to see teams ranked 4, 5, 6, and 7 being pulled out, and we've got Team 6, Calgary Villains FC Real 09 boys will play against Blizzard SC 09 boys in that first round. Match 2, out of Pot B, we'll see Southwest United SC 09 boys playing against the Foothills FC 2009 White. And lastly, out of Pot B, the only remaining team left is the Rangers FC 09 boys, which will play off against Calgary West Celtic 09 boys. Here you can see the full matchup schedule. This will again be produced in a bracket form with a full schedule released on CalgaryMinersSoccer.com on May 13th. And we wish all these teams the best of luck in the pursuit to represent Calgary at the Boys U13 Tier 1 Provincials. Stay tuned. We'll be right back as we reset for the Boys U13 Tier 2 draw. Stay tuned. We'll be right back as we reset the boys U13. Stay tuned. We'll be right back as we reset the boys U13. Stay tuned. We'll be right back as we reset the boys U13. Stay tuned. We'll be right back as we reset. Welcome back. The boys U13 Tier 2 draw will commence now with the first round bye going to the Foothills 2009 team. There were 9 groups entered into this cup competition, so there's by default one for bye for that team. Drawing out of Pot A, we're going to see a club come out, and they'll be the home team in that match 1. We have got the Spartans Argonauts 09/10 boys team. So they'll be slotted in there as the home team for match 1. Match 2 out of Pot A. Again, the top teams will see number 3 ranked team, North Calgary FC, boys 13 Sounders, playing in that home match 2. Match 3 out of Pot A is going to see the 5th ranked team of Calgary Southwest United FC 09 boys. And lastly, out of Pot A for match 4 is going to see the Rangers Athletics 09 boys rounding out that as the home team for match 4. Into Pot B, again, these are our lower seeded teams based on our indoor 2021/22 season. If we make that draw out of Pot B, we're going to have the 9th ranked team, which is the Chinooks B13 United 09 boys playing against the Spartans Argonauts in that match number 1. In match number 2, out of Pot B as the away team, we're going to see the Mackenzie United Soccer Club Wolves 09 boys playing against North Calgary Sounders 09 boys. Match 3, rounding that one out of Pot B, is going to see the Villains Impact 09 boys be the away team to Southwest United FC 09 boys. And lastly, the only team left in Pot B is seed number 8, which is Royal West Sporting 09s. It'll round out that match 4 against the Calgary Rangers Athletics 09. Some great matchups there that we see with the boys team 2s. They're going to compete for their chance to represent Calgary at the Alberta Soccer Provincials this outdoor season. Stay tuned. Up next, we've got the boys U13 Tier 3, which will live draw next. Boys U13 Tier 3, which will live draw next. Boys U13 Tier 3, which will live draw next. Welcome back. The boys U13 Tier 3, we've reorganized, we've mixed up the polls again, and we're ready to go. Here we've got 6 teams entered into this cup competition, which means the top 2 seeds are actually going to get a first round bye. And those 2 teams are EMFC United 9s, which are our first seeded team. Our second seeded team is the Calgary West City 09 boys. They'll receive a first round bye and be on opposite sides of the bracket. Out of Pot A for match number 1, we'll draw the next team. And again, this is going to be either the 3rd or 4th seeded team. So the 3rd seeded team is what's been drawn, which is the TNEU 2009 Force. And then lastly, out of Pot A for match 2, being the home team, would be team number 4, which is the Blizzard Alliance 09 boys. Rounding them out of Pot B for that match 1 to play CNEU 2009 Force is the 6th, which is the Cal Glen WHU Fire 09 Boys, which means lastly we've got the other group as the number 5, which is the Foothills Prospects 2009 Boys. We've actually made an error with that match 1 and match 2. We're just going to swap those around. There we go. We've got Cal Glen and Foothills 2009 Prospects. Again, we're live. There might be some little typos here, but thanks for bearing with us. Again, these seedings were based on indoor 2021-22 final league seasons. And we're going to be right back with the boys U13 Tier 4 Cup Competition. With the boys U13 Tier 4 Cup Competition. Welcome back. The boys U13 Tier 4s only had 4 groups that submitted an interest in the CMSA Provincial Qualifier Cup Competition. In Pot A is our number 1 and number 2 seeded teams of Calgary Glenmore United 09 Boys and the Foothills 2009 Stars. And then in Pot B, our 3rd and 4th seeded teams, the West Hills United Flares 09s and the Blizzard United 09 Boys. We're going to draw from Pot A, from Seed 1 and Seed 2. We've drawn Seed 1, which is the Cal Glen United 09 Boys, and they will be the home team in Match 1. Match 2 will then by default be the 2nd seeded team, the Foothills 2009 Stars, be the home team there. And then shifting over into Pot B, we'll draw either West Hills United or Blizzard to face off against them. We've drawn the West Hills United Flares. We'll play against Cal Glen United. And then by default, we'll have the Blizzard United 09 Boys playing against the Foothills 2009 Stars. We have a 1 versus 3 and a 2 versus 4 matchup. Really exciting, probably closely matched games, and we're looking forward to those. Stay tuned. We're going to move on to the girls U13 Tier 1 live draw in just a moment. Thanks so much. Stay tuned. U13 Tier 1 live draw. Just a moment. Thanks so much. Stay tuned. U13 Tier 1 live draw. Just a moment. Thanks so much. Stay tuned. U13 Tier 1 live draw. Just a moment. Thanks so much. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Time for the girls side of the U13 draw. So we're going to start off with girls U13 Tier 1s. We've got 8 teams into this cup competition, which means there's no first round buys. We could see some great upsets and some great competition within this. But again, reminding everyone that the 1st and 2nd seeded teams will be placed on opposite sides of the bracket. And where the draw goes from there, nobody knows. So let's get going with Pot A for match 1. We've drawn the 4th seeded team, which is the Calgary Southwest United SC 09 Girls. And continuing through Pot A for the home team in match 2, we'll see the Rangers WFC 09 Girls as the home team in that match number 2. Match number 3 from Pot A, we'll see the 3rd seeded team, which is the Blizzard SC 09 Girls. And then by default, that leaves our number 1 seed as the Foothills WFC 2009 Green U13 Tier 1 Girls as that match 4. Moving into Pot B to find their opponents in the away teams. Again, teams 5, 6, 7, and 8 will be in that pot. We've got Team 5, which is the Foothills WFC 2009 White. They'll play in match number 1 against the Southwest United SC 09 Girls. And back into Pot B, we've got Team 6, which is the Villains FC Thorns 09. They'll play against the Rangers WFC 09 girls. Match 3, the away team out of Pot B is going to see Team 8, which is the Blizzard SC10 girls, playing against the Blizzard SC09 girls. We've got a Club v Club game. That could be a really, really exciting one. That's a tasty little matchup there. I like that. Some inter-club rivalry. And match 4 out of Pot B would be the 7th ranked team. Mackenzie United 09 girls will play against the Foothill WFC 2009 Green. Thanks very much for tuning in to the 13 Tier 1 Cup Draw. We're going to be right back with the girls U13 Tier 2 Cup Draw in just a moment. Thanks very much and stay tuned. Girls U13 Tier 2 Cup Draw in just a moment. Thanks very much and stay tuned. U13 Tier 2 Cup Draw in just a moment. Thanks very much. Welcome back. It's time for the girls U13 Tier 2 CMSA Provincial Qualifier Cup Competition live draw. We've got 4 teams entered into this cup competition draw, which will mean no first round buys and straight matchups for the teams. So let's get into it. Teams seeded 1 and 2 will be in Pot A, and then obviously 3 and 4 will be in Pot B. Team number 1 has been pulled. Villains FC Magic 09 will be in match 1 as the home team. And then by default, that will leave West Hills United CG Glory 09 as the home team for match number 2. Their opponents out of Pot B, the 3rd and 4th seeded team, will be the 3rd seed will play against Villains, and that's Blizzard Alliance 09 girls. So a Blizzard versus Villains matchup there. And then by default, that leaves the Foothills 2009 Girls U13s as our last drawn team, which will play against the West Hills United CG Glory 09s. That rounds out the Girls U13 Tier 2 live cup draw. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with the Girls U13 Tier 3 cup draw. Girls U13 Tier 3 saw only 2 teams registered in the cup competition for provincial qualification. Those 2 teams are the Calglen Impact 09 girls and the Calgary Rangers Athletics 09 girls. We're going to see just one match in this group. We'll have both of these teams heading to provincials. Let's go. We've got our first 2 provincial qualifiers out of Calgary. Congratulations. But really want to see who ends up winning that cup competition. Stay tuned. There's one last draw within the girls U13, which is the girls U13 Tier 4, and we'll be right back with that one. Last draw within the girls U13, which is the girls U13 Tier 4, and we'll be right back with that one. Draw within the girls U13, which is the girls U13 Tier 4, and we'll be right back with that one. Draw within the girls U13, which is the girls U13 Tier 4, and we'll be right back with that one. Draw within the girls U13. Welcome back. The girls U13 Tier 4s are set to be drawn out of Pot A. Again, we're drawing all of Pot A first, and then all of Pot B is the home team out of Pot A and the away team out of Pot B. These teams have been ranked based on their indoor 2021/2022 final league standings from CMSA, and we're really excited to see how this draw goes. So into the pots we go, into Pot A, either 1 or 2, which will see Calgary Blizzard, the United 09 girls, first. They were our 2nd seed, and they'll play in match 1 as the home team. Match 2, the home team will be, by default, Rangers Women's Royals 09. And we need to find them some opponents, of course. So into Pot B we go, where we'll see either the Foothills Ravens or Cal Glen Rapids. Cal Glen Rapids 09 girls that will be drawn against the Blizzard United 09 girls. We have a 2v4 lined up there, which then by default leaves us with the third seeded team, the Foothills Ravens, to play against the Rangers Royals 09 girls. Some of these go really quick, which is great. We're going to dive into the boys U15 Tier 1 in just a moment. We're going to reset. So have a little interlude, get up, grab a glass of water, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned. We're going to reset. So have a little interlude, get up, grab a glass of water, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned. We're going to reset. So have a little interlude, get up, grab a glass of water, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned. We're going to reset. So have a little interlude, get up, grab a glass of water, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned. Get up, grab a glass of water, we'll be right back. Welcome back. We're going to shift gears into the U15s now that all of the U13s are done. And we're going to jump into the boys U15 Tier 1. We've got a total of 11 teams wanting to compete for this cup competition, which is phenomenal. It'll see some great matchups, hopefully a few upsets, and provide a really good competitive level for the players and coaches. We've got 3 first-round buys based on the 11 teams that have been entered. Team number 1 in the first seed is the Southwest United SC 08 boys. The second team that's going to have a bye is the Foothills FC 2008 boys. And lastly, the third seeded team was the PSA Elite team that have got that first round bye as well. Again, we're going to go back into Pot A and draw all 4 of those teams that are left there to get the home matchup, and then go to the away in Pot B. Team 6 has been drawn first, which is the Calgary West Celtic 0708. They'll be the home team in match 1. Back into Pot A to draw another one of the top seeded teams, and that's the 7th seeded team with Calgary Rangers FC 0708. They'll play home in match number 2. Match number 3 out of Pot A with the home team is going to be seed number 5, which is the Blizzard SC 0708 boys. And then lastly, in match 4, we will see the 4th seeded team, which is the Foothills FC 2007 boys, rounding out the home teams with the boys U15 Tier 1 Provincial Qualifier Cup Competition. They need opponents. They need an away team, of course. So the away teams for match 1 is going to be out of Pot B, which is the 10th seeded team, which is the Lions Soccer Club Warriors 07 boys. Match 2, the away team drawn out of Pot B is going to be the North Calgary FC Boys 15 Crew 07s. They'll play against the Rangers FC 0708. Match 3, the away team there is going to be the 8th seeded team, Mackenzie United, Southwest United 07 boys. Will be playing against the Blizzard SC 0708 boys. And lastly, in match 4, you'll see the 11th seeded team, New Frontier SC 2007 boys, playing against the Foothills FC 2007 boys in that first round. Again, all of these seedings were taken from the indoor 2021-22 season, and a full rationale and process will be available on CalgaryMinersSoccer.com by Friday, when the full bracket and schedule is produced for the Cup competition. Thanks very much for tuning in to the boys U15 Tier 1. Stay tuned, we're going to jump into the boys U15 Tier 2 after just a quick break. Thanks very much for tuning in to the boys U15 Tier 1. Stay tuned, we're going to jump into the boys U15 Tier 2 after just a quick break. The boys U15 Tier 2 after just a quick break. After just a quick break. Welcome back, and thanks for bearing with us. Apologies to the North Calgary FC. We did have a wrong logo in there, so apologies for that. We fixed it. We have fixed the rest of them as well, so sincere apologies to North Calgary. We meant no disrespect, but we'll make sure that we've got it sorted here. The boys U15 Tier 2 is up now. We've got 10 teams in this cup competition, which means the first two, or the top two seeded teams, receive first round bye, which are the EMFC United 07 boys, and then the North Calgary FC boys 15 Sounders 07. And as you'll notice, the correct logo is on the screen, so thanks for bearing with us. This is part of the joys of going live. So we'll dive into Pot A, which will see seeds 3, 4, 5, and 6 in that pot. 6 has been drawn as that home team from match 1, which will see the New Frontier SC 2007 boys blue as the home team there. Back into Pot A for the home team for match number 2, where we'll see the 4th seeded team, Calgary West FC 07-08. There we go, as they fall into the screen and can get positioned in there. Match 3, the home team out of the pool, or out of the pots, pardon me, will be seed number 3, which is the Spartans Cavalry 08. And lastly, the home team for match number 4 will be the 5th seeded team, Foothills 2008 Prospects. That'll round out all of the home teams and setting up the matches for us. Going into the away side, which will come out of Pot B. Again, Pot B, the lower seeded team, so 7, 8, 9, and 10. We've drawn number 8, which is the Rangers Athletics 08. Will play against the New Frontier D 2007 Boys Blue. Match 2, the away team there to play against Calgary West, will be the 9th team, Blizzard Alliance 07-08 Boys. North side battle there. Should be a good one. Match 3, the away team will see the 7th seeded team, Chinooks B15 United 08, playing the Spartans Cavalry 08. And lastly, in that match 4, we'll see the 10th seeded team, Rangers Athletics 07s, playing against the Foothills 2008 Prospects. That rounds out our boys U15 Tier 2 draw. You'll see the entire bracket as well as schedule produced for Friday on CalgaryMinersSoccer.com. So please check that out and stay tuned. The boys U15 Tier 3 will be coming up shortly. Thanks very much for tuning in, and stay tuned as we prepare for that next draw. Thanks very much for tuning in. Stay tuned as we prepare for that next draw. Thanks very much for tuning in. Stay tuned as we prepare for that next draw. Boys U15 Tier 3 live draw is up next. This is our biggest division out of all of them. There's a whopping 13 teams that want to compete for this cup. We're really excited about this one. We're going to see 3 teams with a first round bye, and those teams are the first seeded team, North Calgary FC, Boys 15 Galaxy 07s. The second seeded team, which are the PSA Prospects. And then the third seeded team, which are the Foothills Hornets 2008 boys. So what you'll find now is in Pod A, seeds 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and in Pod B, 9 through 13. Number 8 seed has been drawn, the Calgary West City 0708 in that home match 1 slot. Match 2 will go back into Pod A to find number 4, West Hills United CG Renegades 08 will be that match 2 home team. They'll slot in there. Match 3 we'll see the 6th seeded team, the Southwest United FC 08 boys, as that home team for match 3. Match 4, the home team out of Pod A, we'll see 7th seed Rangers Royals 08 boys in that home spot. And then lastly, out of Pod A will be the 5th seeded team, the Chinooks B15 Selects. They'll be that home team for match number 5. Pause for 1 sec as we head over into Pod B, which will see our lower seeded teams be the away team for those 5 matches outlined there. So into Pod B we go. 9-13 will come out. Seed number 9 has been drawn against the Calgary West City 0708, and that is Royal West Cruzeiro. We'll fill out that matchup and we'll provide some great competition and a great match there for that one. Match number 2, Ball 12 has been pulled, which is the Foothills 0708 United, which will be the away team in match number 2. Match number 3, playing the Southwest United FC 08 boys, we'll see the 11th seed team, the Cal Glen Royals 07s. We'll fill out that one. And then back into Pot B for match number 4, which will be the 10th seeded team, West Hills United SC 07s, will be the away team there for match number 4, which then by default leaves the 13th seeded team, the CNEU 2009 Fire, to be match 5 against the Chinooks B15 Select. Some great matches there in the boys U15 Tier 3s. Stay tuned as we move into the boys U15 Tier 4 coming up after just a short break. We'll see you soon. Stay tuned as we move into the boys U15 Tier 4 coming up after just a short break. We'll see you soon. Tuned as we move into the boys U15 Tier 4 coming up after just a short break. We'll see you soon. Tuned as we move into the boys U15 Tier 4 coming up after just a short break. Boys U15 Tier 4, we had 8 teams want to join in on this CMSA Provincial Qualifier Cup Competition. We'll see seeds 1 to 4 in Pod A and seeds 5 to 8 into Pod B. So we're going to head straight into Pod A there for our first home team for match 1. And we've pulled the first seed, which is the Blizzard United 0708 boys. They'll be that home team in match 1. Heading back into Pod A to find a home team for that match 2. We'll see number 2, Rangers United 08. We'll fill out that match 2 home spot. Curious if seed 3 gets pulled for match 3. We'll see what happens. In match 3, we've pulled number 3. It's not rigged, I promise you that. Foothills Sonics 2007 will be that home team in match 3, which then for that match 4 leaves the West Hills United Jets 07s to round out the home teams in the boys U15 Tier 4 Provincial Qualifier Cup Competition. Into Pot B to find them an opponent. You always need someone to play. For match 1, we've drawn the 7th seed, is the Foothills Sting 2008. They'll play off against the Blizzard United 078 boys. Match 2 out of Pot B will be the 8th seed team, the Calgary West Rovers 0708, as the opponent for the Rangers United 08. Match 3 will see the 6th seed, the Mackenzie United Soccer Club Southwest United 07 put in there. Match 4 is going to see the 5th seeded team, the Villains FC Madrid U15 boys, to round out that cup competition. Again, full bracket's going to be produced on Friday and live on CalgaryMinersSoccer.com, so you can see your team's journey to the final and to the ASA Provincials held later this summer. If you stick around, we're going to shift into the girls U15 Tier 1s in just a moment when we reset, and we look forward to hanging out with you some more this afternoon, so stay tuned. We look forward to hanging out with you some more this afternoon, so stay tuned. We look forward to hanging out with you some more this afternoon, so stay tuned. We look forward to hanging out with you some more this afternoon. We're back with the girls U15 Tier 1 CMSA Provincial Qualifier Cup Competition live draw. We're going to find out who's going to start their journey towards the ASA Provincials this summer. We've got 7 teams that have entered into this cup competition. The first round bye, the top seeded team, will go to the Foothills WFC 2008 girls. They will play later on in the competition. Into Pot A again for that home team for match 1, 2, and 3. The first drawn team that we've got is the second seeded team, is the Foothills WFC 2007 girls, which will be put into that home spot for match 1. The second team drawn that will fill up the match 2 home spot is the 4th seeded team, the Chinooks FC 08 Palermo. And then lastly, the final home team in match 3 will be the 3rd seeded team, the Blizzard SC 07 girls. You always need an opponent, so we're going to dive into Pot B to find out those. And we're going to pull out the 5th seeded team, which is the Blizzard Alliance 07-08 girls. They'll be playing against that Foothills WFC 2007 girls team in that first round. Match 2 will see the 6th seed drawn, which is the Southwest United SC 07 girls against the Chinooks FC 08 Palermo team. And then lastly, we'll see the 7th seed drawn, the Mackenzie United Soccer Club WHU Thorns 08, to round out that U15 girls Tier 1 Provincial Qualifier Cup Competition. We're going to shift gears here into the girls U15 Tier 2s. We'll be right back to share with you the live draw. Stay tuned, and we'll see you soon. U15 Tier 2s. We'll be right back to share with you the live draw. Stay tuned, and we'll see you soon. U15 Tier 2s. We'll be right back to share with you the live draw. Stay tuned, and we'll see you soon. U15 Tier 2s. We'll be right back to share with you the live draw. Stay tuned, and we'll see you soon. Welcome back. Girls U15 Tier 2s, we saw 5 teams enter into this cup competition. That's going to see the first seeded team get a first round bye, and that first seeded team is the Cal Glen West Hills United Wild. They will receive that first round bye into the next round. Match 1 out of Pot A, the second or third seeded team. We've pulled the third seeded team, which is the Foothills 2007 United Girls. They'll slot in there as the home team for match 1, which by default leaves us with ball 2, or the second seeded team, the Rangers Athletics 07-08 girls, as that home team for match 2. Diving into Pot B, where the 4th and 5th seeded teams are located, is the 5th seeded team, the Royal West United girls. They'll play in that match 1 against Foothills 2007 United. And match 2 is going to be Mackenzie Rain 07 girls. Fill out the bracket there against the Rangers Athletics 07-08 girls. That rounds out the girls U15 Tier 2s. Again, the bracket will be posted on CalgaryMinersSoccer.com this Friday. So stay tuned and follow your team, your club's journey to provincial glory. If you hold on for 1 sec, we're going to get into the girls U15 Tier 3, and we'll be right back. Thanks so much. If you hold on for 1 sec, we're going to get into the girls U15 Tier 3, and we'll be right back. Thanks so much. If you hold on for 1 sec, we're going to get into the girls U15 Tier 3, and we'll be right back. Thanks so much. If you hold on for 1 sec, we're going to get into the girls U15 Tier 3, and we'll be right back. Thanks so much. Welcome back, girls U15 Tier 3s. We saw 7, if my math is correct on my fingers, 7 teams enter into here. So that means the first seeded team gets a first round bye, and that seeded team is Rangers Royals 07-08 girls. So they're not going to be competing on match day 1. We'll compete there on throughout. Getting into Pod A, again, our top seeded teams are in Pod A. We find the home teams first. We've pulled the 3rd seed for match 1, which is the Chinooks Girls 15 Ultra. They'll be slotting in there as the home team for match 1. Match 2, as we go back to Pod A, we'll see the 2nd seeded team, the North Calgary Girls 15 Galaxy 07s, as that match 2 home team. And then lastly, the 4th team pulled from Pod A, or the 4th seeded team, pulled from Pod A, the Glen Westfield United Phoenix 07-08 girls. They'll be the home team there for match number 3. We got to dive into Pot B to find them some opponents, either the 5th, 6th, or 7th seeded team. We've pulled the 5th seeded team, which is the Mackenzie Lionesses 07, which will play against the Chinooks G15 Ultra. Match 2, the away team is going to be the 7th team, the Eastside Memorial FC Chelsea 07 girls. They'll have a matchup against the Calglen West Hills United Phoenix 07-08 girls. And then lastly, that gives us the 6th seeded team, the Southwest United FC 07-08 girls, as that match 3 away team to be populated there against the Calglen West Hills United Phoenix 07-08 girls. Stay tuned. One last U15 draw coming up is the girls U15 Tier 4 draw, and we'll be right back with that. U15 draw coming up is the girls U15 Tier 4 draw, and we'll be right back with that. U15 draw coming up is the girls U15 Tier 4 draw, and we'll be right back with that. U15 draw coming up is the girls U15 Tier 4 draw. We'll be right back with that. U15 draw coming up is the girls U15 Tier 4 draw. We'll be right back with that. Welcome back. The girls U15 Tier 4 live draw for provincial qualification out of Calgary is about to commence. We have 6 teams that were entered into this cup competition, which means that 2 seeds will see a first round bye. Those 2 seeds are the North Calgary FC Girls 15 Dynamo 07 and the Blizzard United 07-08 girls will both see a first round bye. Into Pot 1, we'll see the 3rd and 4th seeded teams pulled out, and match 1 is pulled the 4th seeded team, the Calglen Fury 07-08. Will be the home team in that match 1, and then match 2 back out of pot A. We'll see the 3rd The team, the Villains FC Reign U15. They need opponents, of course, as I've been saying. So into Pot B to find opponents. The 5th seed has been pulled. The Mackenzie Fire 08 will play against the Cowglen Fury 0708. And then the 6th seed team will, by default, be the last one pulled. The CNEU Flames will round out the girls U15 Tier 4 Provincial Qualifier Cup Competition bracket. Stay tuned. We're just going to shift into the U17s. We're going to be right back. If you need a quick water or you need a quick drink, hurry up because we're going to be speeding through this one. Stay tuned and we'll see you soon. If you need a quick water or you need a quick drink, hurry up because we're going to be speeding through this one. Stay tuned and we'll see you soon. If you need a quick water or you need a quick drink, hurry up because we're going to be speeding through this one. Stay tuned. Welcome back. That rounded out the U15s. Going into the U17s, I'm going to start with the U17 Tier 1s. We have 10 teams entered into this Provincial Qualifier Cup competition, which means 2 teams are going to see a first round bye. Both the Foothills FC 2005 boys and the Rangers FC 05 boys will see first round bye, and a slightly easier road to a final and to a provincials. We're going to hop into Pot A as we have been doing to find those home teams. Match 1, the 6th seed has been pulled. The Villains FC, U17s will slot in there as the home team. Match 2, the home team out of Pot A will see the 3rd seed, the Blizzard SC 05 boys, slot in there. And then match 3, out of Pot A again, is going to see the 5th seed, which is the New Frontier SC 2006 boys. Then lastly is the 4th seed into match 4 there as the home team, which is the Foothills FC 2006 boys. We're going to dive into Pot B to find out who these teams are going to be playing. The 9th seed has been pulled. The North Calgary FC B17 Crew 06 will play against that Villains FC U17 team. In match 2, the away team is going to be the 7th seed, which is the Foothills 2005 boys. Then match 3, facing off against the New Frontier 2006s, is the 8th seed, the Southwest United SC 06 boys. And lastly, by default, the 10th seed will be pulled. Blizzard Alliance 05-06 boys will play off against that Foothills FC 2000 and... Apologies, my eyesight must be going. That rounds out the boys U17 Tier 1 bracket. Again, these brackets will all be produced Friday for you on CalgaryMinersSoccer.com. You'll be able to follow your team or your club's journey to Provincial Championship and to the CMSA Provincial Qualifier Cup Championship. Would really encourage you to support your clubs and support each team's journey as they progress through the rounds and really show that this is going to be a memorable experience for all teams involved. Stay tuned. The boys U17 Tier 2s are up next, and we're just going to reset and be back with you shortly. Stay tuned. The boys U17 Tier 2s are up next, and we're just going to reset and be back with you shortly. Stay tuned. The boys U17 Tier 2s are up next, and we're just going to reset and be back with you shortly. Stay tuned. The boys U17 Tier 2s are up next. Welcome back. The boys U17 Tier 2 saw 6 teams entered into the CMSA Provincial Qualifier Cup Competition, which means 2 first-round buys. We've got the Calgary West Celtic 0506s as our 1 seed, and the EMFC United 05 boys as our 2 seed. They're going to see first buys into this competition. We're going to head into Pot A to make sure we find that home team. So teams 3 and 4 in there. Team 4 has been drawn. The Rangers U17 Athletics 0506 will go in there. And then by default, 3, the Glen West Hills United Cavalry 05 boys will be the home team in match number 2. Got to find them opponents out of Pot B. Pot B is going to be the 6th seed, which is the Foothills U17 Prospect, playing off against the Rangers U17 Athletics in that match 1. And then the 5th seed, the Chinooks B17 United 05, is going to be playing off against that Calglen West Hills United Cavalry 05 boys. That rounds out the boys U17 Tier 2 draw. Stick around, the boys U17 Tier 3s are up next, and we'll be back after just a short break. Stay tuned. Stick around, the boys U17 Tier 3s are up next, and we'll be back after just a short break. Stay tuned. Stick around, the boys U17 Tier 3s are up next, and we'll be back after just a short break. Stay tuned. Stick around, the boys U17 Tier 3s are up next, and we'll be back after just a short break. Welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. The boys U17 Tier 3 live draw for Provincial Glory and Local Glory is up next. In Pot A, we've got 1 to 4, those seeded teams. And in Pot B, we've got 5 to 8. That means 8 teams were entered into this cup competition and are going to compete throughout the city and throughout the summer. First team drawn is Seed 2, the Southwest United SC 0506 boys. We'll slot in there in match number 1. And back into Pot A to find the home team for match 2 will be the 3rd seed, the North Calgary FC B17 Galaxy 06s will be that home team for match 2. Out of Pot A, one more time here, is the number 1 seed, the Foothills Rampage 2005-2006 boys will play in that 3rd match. And then the 4th seed was drawn last out of Pot A, which is the CNEU Magic, and they'll be in match number 4. Into Pot B to find some opponents for all of these teams. We've drawn the 8th seed, which is the Foothills Sabres. We'll play off against that Southwest United SC 0506 boys. Match 2 is going to be the 6th seed, which is the Calglen West Hills United Mavericks 06. Match 3, the away team there, is going to be the 7th seed, the Villains Warriors 05s. And then that leaves our 5th seed to be drawn last as the Calglen Inter 0506s for match 4 to play off against the 4th seed, the CNEU Magic. Again, all of these schedules and full bracket is on CalgaryMinersSoccer.com on Friday, so make sure you check that out. Thanks for sticking with us. We're going to move into the girls U17 Tier 1 next, and we hope you'll stick with us and see what comes up that draw. Stay tuned. We'll see you soon. Next, and we hope you'll stick with us and see what comes up. Stay tuned. We'll see you soon. Next, we hope you'll stick with us. Stay tuned. We'll see you soon. Welcome back with the girls U17 Tier 1. We've had 8 teams again, much similar to some of the other ones, which will see no first round buys, and we'll see just a straight draw teams 1 to 4, or seeds 1 to 4 in Pot A, seeds 5 to 8 into that Pot B. All of Pot A are going to be our home teams. Pot B are going to be our away teams. So the first team drawn in match 1 is going to see the 3rd seed, the Foothills WFC 2006 girls, as the home team there for match 1. Match 2, diving in there into Pot A again, is going to see the 2nd seed, the Southwest United SC 0506 girls. Match 3 out of Pot A and that home team is going to see the 4th seed, which is the Rangers WFC 05 girls. And then that leaves our number 1 seed, the Blizzard SC 05 girls, to be drawn in match number 4 as that home team. Diving into the other side, into Pot B, which will see 5 through 8. We've drawn number 7, or seed 7, the Southwest United FC 06 girls, to play off against that Foothills WFC 06s. 3 versus 7 matchup there. That'll be great. The 8th seed has been drawn next. The Chinooks FC 06 Spartak will be drawn in there against the Southwest United SC 0506 girls. Match 3 is going to see Rangers WFC 05s against the 5th seed, which is the Foothills WFC 2005. And then that leaves the 6th seed, the Chinooks FC 05 Chelsea, to be the away team to Blizzard SC 05 girls and round out that whole girls U17 Tier 1 bracket. Great matchups there. I'm looking forward to that one. We're going to jump into the girls U17 Tier 2s after just a short break. Stay with us. We've got a couple more draws to go, and then you can enjoy the rest of your evening. Good. We've got a couple more draws to go, and then you can enjoy the rest of your evening. We've got a couple more draws to go, and then you can enjoy the rest of your evening. Girls U17 Tier 2 is up next. We had 6 teams enter into this cup competition and seeded them based off of that indoor 2021-2022 final league standings at CMSA. With 6 teams, we've got 2 teams that need a first round bye, of course. Those teams are the Rangers Athletics 06 and the Blizzard Alliance 0506 girls. They'll see a first round bye and jump into that second round. Into Pot A, where we'll see the 3rd and 4th seeds, where we're going to draw seed 4, which is the Rangers Athletics 05 into that match 1 as that home team, and then the 3rd place seed as West Hills United Warriors 06 will fill that home team in match number 2. The away teams will come out of Pot B, and that'll be the 5th and 6th seeded teams. The 6th team has been drawn, the Foothills 2005-06 United, to play against that Rangers Athletics 05s. And then the 5th will be the Blizzard United 05-06 girls to round out that entire Girls U17 Tier 2s. They'll be playing that Foothills United Warriors 06 team in the Girls U17 Tier 2 Cup competition. That was a quick one. Stay tuned. We've got 2 left. The Girls U17 Tier 3s and the Girls U17 Tier 4s. We'll be back in just a sec as we reset. Stay tuned. And the Girls U17 Tier 4s. We'll be back in just a sec as we reset. Stay tuned. And the Girls U17 Tier 4s. We'll be back in just a sec as we reset. Stay tuned. And the Girls U17 Tier 4s. Jumping into the girls U17 Tier 3 Cup draw, we've only got 3 teams entered into this Cup competition. So first round bye is going to the Cal Glen Storm 06 girls, as they were the top seeded team from indoor. They're going to play off against out of Pot A, the North Calgary FC U17 Galaxy 06. Eventually, potentially, they might play off against them. Who knows? And the first opponent, though, for that North Calgary team is against the Blizzard Athletic 05-06 girls. Winner of that game, obviously, will play off against the Cal Glen Storm 06 is the final. So, quick and easy one. Stay tuned. We're going to jump into the girls U17 Tier 4. And we'll be right back. Stay tuned. We're going to jump into the girls U17 Tier 4. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. We're going to jump into the girls U17 Tier 4. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. We're going to jump into the girls U17 Tier 4. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. We're going to jump into the girls U17 Tier 4. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. We're going to jump into the girls U17 Tier 4. Last up, and if you've been waiting for this all afternoon, thank you so much for tuning in, for waiting for this one. The girls U17 Tier 4s, we've got the top seeded team as the Mackenzie Spirit 07, so they will have that first round bye, as there's only 3 teams entered into this cup competition. And then out of Pot A, as the home team, we'll see the Calgary Southwest United FC 05-06 girls, and they'll have a match against the Cal Glen Thunder 06 girls, which were the 3rd seed for that spot in the final against Mackenzie Spirit 07. Now, thanks so much for tuning in. This concludes the entire live draw. Again, full process will be detailed on calgaryminersoccer.com on Friday with the full bracket and schedule, so you can follow along and support your team and your club as they progress towards the ASA Provincials later this summer. I'm Jordan Stewart, and on behalf of CMSA, thanks so much for tuning in. I'm looking forward to seeing all of these fantastic matches in the CMSA Provincial Qualifier Cup Competition through the summer. Thanks very much, and have a great evening.